From Steins Gate to Angel Beats, Cowboy Bebop to Naruto, everyone loves a good OP. But why aren't people asking the real question? What does Kor think about every anime opening from the spring 2020 season of anime? Well, thankfully I'm here to answer that question. Thanks for asking. Now obviously things like taste will cause some difference of opinion, but I just want you to know that I am right. So if you find yourself disagreeing, I don't know, try getting a better opinion? Sounds like a you problem. In order to ensure to you my total lack of any bias whatsoever, in fact, I don't think I've ever had any bias at any point in time actually, but just to make you feel a little bit better about it, I will only be watching the OPs and not consuming any of the show whatsoever, in order to ensure my opinion is not swayed by my feelings towards it. What's that? I'm just lazy and don't want to watch a bunch of shit anime? So we'll be going through this list of openings in alphabetical order by Japanese show title, and along the way I'll assign a score as well as my prediction on whether the anime is good or not on the basis of its OP alone, and at the end I'll give you my top 5. And yes, I'm scoring on the basis of the music and visuals, though I do generally find the music element to be the most important, and as such it carries more weight. But enough with all that, let's get into the OPs. 7 Seed Season 2. So the solo voice and high reverb electric guitar here sets a really nice soundscape, and I'm into the slow and steady build a lot. The late entrance of the percussion leading finally to the more punchy and fully voiced chorus, closing things out with the catchy little guitar riff. The structure of melodic repetition is a little dull, but pretty in character for the style it's going for musically. Overall a solid one, and okay, I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously. Look at this.
This is garbaggio!
I vaguely remember watching like the first 5 minutes of the first season of this show and hating it, but oh my god, this is so ugly. And this is the OP where you're supposed to show off. The poor composition, gross muddy color design, stiff animation, hideous visual effects. I swear to god I'm gonna end it all if I see another one of these goddamn stock fires that look like they put Free Fire Effect green screen into youtube.com and picked the first thing that came up. 5 out of 10. My guess, the show is bad. Shocker, I know. Aikatsu on Parade. Thankfully my eyes are getting a break. I've heard of but haven't seen any Aikatsu, but the appealing color work and character designs is immediately compelling. The animation is charming, and I do feel it gave me a decent sense for everyone's personality in their short appearances. This cut in particular I think is especially excellent. And of course you got the always delightful falling sky sequence, though I wish it was a bit longer. The song, though, is not vibing with me. The vocal performance is quite weak, which I'm guessing is because it's the voice actor singing. It's so flat and drab. I feel like you want your VA to sing to imbue some of the personality of the character into it musically, but it didn't do anything at all to convey that. The chorus is lame, and I find almost everything it does musically annoying to some extent. Mixing isn't my forte, so it's hard to be specific, but everything feels like it's all around the same frequency space, and it just ends up making the whole thing muddy and unengaging. Also, I hate that high-pitched synth that runs through the whole song. Strong visuals, mediocre song. 5 or 6 out of 10. My guess? The girls are cute, it's probably a masterpiece. Ranma. Now this is an OP. There's a great sense of build-up, climax, and resolution in the music that is also mirrored accurately in the visuals. The vocal performance is bleeding with character, the tune is catchy but never overly repetitive, often developing or adding some sort of new spin to the repetitions that keep it endlessly engaging. And I'm pretty sure the inclusion of a brass riff makes every song objectively better. I love the bridge with that infectious running piano line and the offbeat claps. This is definitely going to go in my playlist, become a potential karaoke pick, and an easy addition to the No Skip collection. If I had to criticize it, I'd say I think the background art looks pretty drab, and there's one single line where the backing voices drop out that I thought sounded kind of weak. But you know what, screw reviews, I just want to dance, I'm so hyped now. 9 out of 10. My guess, good with a question mark. PA Works is like that friend you gotta keep at a distance. I love them, sometimes they're fantastic, but they just keep letting me down. Argonavis from Bang Dream. I'm racist against CG. And also, song's nice, bassline is fun, I give this one Bang out of Dream, will not watch. Look, I can't go super in-depth on every song, I gotta pick my battles here. Arte? This one is just fine. The song and visuals are charming, it looks and sounds nice, but it lacks any kind of oomph to pull me in. I don't feel there's anything in particular for me to latch onto. I usually try to avoid this word best I can, but generic is all I can think of to describe it. The kind of OP I'd be like, yeah, that's nice, and then skip every subsequent episode. The MC's cute and all, but I'm really into this girl's brief appearance. She reminds me of Umiko from New Game. By the way, have I ever mentioned New Game? 6 out of 10. My guess, it's probably fine, but nothing special. Asatir. Quite a surprise here. I'm always going to be a fan of songs that take influence from other cultures. The Arabic influence here is quite apparent through the vocal melismas and the plucked string, though I'm no expert. I have absolutely no idea what this show is about, but seems to be some sort of storybook type tale set in Arabia based on the visuals. Beyond its influence alone though, I find the slow yet comfortable pace and progression very appealing. It's simplistic but very effectively so. There's a delightfully wistful feeling to it that makes me want to be swept up in the setting it's presenting. That said, the clearly artificial instruments in this ensemble stand out like a sore thumb. Particularly the strings pull me out of it, and the visuals aren't blowing me away or anything. 6 out of 10. My guess, probably a pretty good kids show that everyone will sleep on as they always do. Baki Season 2. From Arabia to India, this one's quite the upswing. The sitar riff is stupidly catchy, though perhaps repeated a little too much. The more straight-laced rock elements I found less interesting though still enjoyable, but it does feel a little unbalanced because the second half of the opening is much less visually and musically interesting to me than the somewhat mysterious opening shot. It is hard to judge the visuals because I think Baki is like the most grotesquely hideous thing to ever grace this earth. Like an already unattractive bodybuilding contest, but now set after the growingly inevitable nuclear fallout with our soon-to-be disgustingly mutated bodies. But that also seems to be like exactly what it's trying to do, so I guess I can't complain. 7 out of 10. Bakugan Armored Alliance. I hate it, 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 I hate it. I hate the kid's stupid voice, children are bad, it's painfully cheesy and not in any kind of way I can enjoy. Character designs are decent, but outside of that I'm not big on these visuals. Also, there's like some weird ass old guy's voice who joins in as a sort of call and response later in the OP, but it's mixed terribly so it sounds like he's belting it out from an entirely different room. And also his singing style does not mesh at all, so oh my god, why am I ranting about this children's show that literally no one cares about? Let's move on. 3 out of 10, my guess, well, it's got a black kid in it, so it must be bad. Bisatsu Olympia Kaiklos? Oh, what's this? 11 out of 10. Beyblade Burst Super King. This one's even worse than the Bakugan one, and look at his face, I hate it, bad out of 10, next please god! BNA. Alright, here's a nice reprieve. BNA's OP is delightful, it's very tightly produced, love the bold colors and the visuals, and while it's not exactly my favorite musical style, I'd be crazy to talk trash on it. You can tell the mixing and composition is strong when you're able to focus in on one single instrument across the whole track and follow its arc. Everything's put together in a way that blends nicely without losing individuality. What keeps it from being fantastic for me is how abrupt and rushed the ending sounds. It's a bit shorter than the average OP and doesn't feel like it was made to be shorter. The ending feels like an afterthought to me. 8 out of 10, my guess, I will want to have sex with this raccoon for the entire duration of the show. Bungo to Alchemist. This was a nice surprise. I'm always down for some cute men, but this was a big step up from your basic bitch boys through its strong presentation. Some of the visuals I found a little ineffectually ambitious, particularly this strange looking sequence where they are running through words I thought was a bit much, but for the most part I loved the creativity. The stained glass section is awesome, and I'm way into the silhouettes at the end as well. Really feels like they're pulling out all the stops to make something visually exciting, and I enjoyed the music a lot as well. The strings and accordion are used very effectively, and the stained glass sequence happening during the segment with the harpsichord is a fitting touch, both signifiers of an older time. Delightful all around, strong 8 out of 10. My guess, it's probably not going to be that good, to be honest. These kinds of shows often aren't from what I've seen, but here's hoping. Digimon Adventure : Why do reboots have to always have the stupidest names? This OP is fine. I honestly have nothing to say. The animation is nice, song is enjoyable, : out of 10, get a better show name next time. Fruits Basket Season 2. I'm sure some people are big fans of this opening, but unfortunately I'm not one of them. Aside from the mildly compelling piano synth intro, I find this song just plain boring, and the visuals are not helping with that at all. No, throwing a shit ton of bloom does not make your show look good, and the emotional chorus where they're just walking into the camera with completely blank expressions is honestly hilarious in all the wrong ways. 4 out of 10. My guess, well, I watched the first episode of Season 1 when it came out and thought it was boring, so yeah, that I guess. Also, sorry to interrupt the video, but I thought this would be much easier to make because I could download most of the OPs off of YouTube instead of having to torrent entire episodes, but I'm having to do that anyways because I don't know what it is Funimation is doing to these OPs. Are they like blasting them through their phone speakers and recording that or something? Because they all sound muffled and off and bad, even in full quality. Like, how is that even possible? How do you screw up re-uploading the opening themes to anime on your channel? I feel like this should not be that difficult to get right. Fugo Keiji, Balance Unlimited. Now this is one hell of an opening. I think more so than any other so far, this one really captures a very specific idea in its tone and attitude. Raw excess. Everything seems carefully crafted to express the singular idea of, bitch, look how rich I am. I mean, look at his license plate. I love the sharp strings opening, contrasting the elegant short accentuated notes with this dirty tremolo, or in the vocal section where it takes a phrase in major and repeats it again in minor, or the jazzy double bass. All of it crafts this vibe of look how cool I am, a suaveness that results from a mix of elegance with darker tones, which the visuals excellently mirror. Unfortunately, it suffers from the common issue of dropping a lot of its unique musical attributes during the chorus, but overall it's still great. 8 out of 10, my guess, probably pretty good. Gal and Dino. This song is fun, but look at this dinosaur's stupid face. Look at him. 8 out of 10. Gleipnir? Hey, I know this one. It's the edgy boy anime of the season with that hot girl, like, oh my god, she is so attractive, good lord. This is a fun OP. Visual production is very strong. I like the little touches with distorted synth to add to the mildly eerie attitude, though I kinda wish it went in on it more. 7 out of 10. My guess? Masterpiece. Oh god, we've still got so many more openings to cover. Why did I do this to myself? Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise 2. Fun rock song, but very unmemorable. Visuals are fine. Is that a mecha with tits? Man, I really have been sleeping on Gundam. 6 out of 10. Hakushin Daimao 2020. I love this. It's immensely charming and wonky in just the right kind of way. The fuzzily distorted repeated line sounds to my ears like a guitar trying to emulate the sound of a stylophone. Catchy, childish, and yeah, pretty goofy. The bright, colorful visuals are lovely as we watch the characters dance and prance from one surreal setting to the next, showing identifiable and compelling personalities through their movements. Everything about this puts a wide smile on my face. Delightful 7, 8 out of 10. Hanzuki no Gekokujo book. It's Bookworm. It's Bookworm Season 2. I'm predisposed to disliking this because I watched the first season and hated it. Book out of 10. Hokugo Teibo Nishi. Epitome of the yeah, I'll pass OP. Slow-paced visuals and music, unmemorable and unimpressive, 5 out of 10, which coincidentally is also exactly what I predict the actual show will be. Idolish 7, second beat. You know what? Nah. Jeshin-chan dropkick apostrophe. The introduction I found pretty mediocre, but I like the secondary upbeat character, though a lot of the additional instruments, I don't know how to word this, but they sound kind of lost. There's a decent amount of sound choices that don't gel very well together, and the strings patch does not sound good. I have nothing interesting to say about the visuals, 5 out of 10. Kaguya-sama Season 2. A follow-up to the show-stopping first season's opener by the same artist, this one is enjoyable but nowhere near as memorable. I like that it tries to tell a bit of a story visually, but honestly I think it tries a little too hard. It basically feels like watching a few minutes of one of the episodes except without the sounded voice acting, especially towards the ending of it, which creates a bit of a disconnect because the show is primarily comedic in tone, but this opening theme very much so is not. Well produced and a great song, but because of its slow pace and straightforwardness, I couldn't see myself wanting to rewatch it too many times. 7 out of 10. Kakushigoto. A minute and a half and I'm already deeply invested in the adorable relationship between these two characters. The flat framing in particular I find very interesting and cool looking. The environments and the way the characters are placed within them is great, which is especially enjoyable because of how often the environment a character inhabits feels like an afterthought. The song itself I'm a little less invested in. Personally I would have appreciated something a little more lighthearted, but I still like it. 7 out of 10, I can't wait to watch this show, everything about it looks like it's right up my alley. Kami no To, Tower of God. Bad. Half of what we see are names on a black screen, the other half a character vaguely wandering directionlessly around an empty setting. How exciting. The song is also incredibly goofy, that never let you go, never let you go, the police siren, the sub-bass strings, low piano combo, it is just too much. When you try to craft a particular tone or attitude, you have to be very careful not to make it sound artificial through excess, and while Balance Unlimited I think executed a similar kind of idea well, this one completely fails. Yeah, I definitely won't be turning back to this OP anytime soon. 4 out of 10. Kingdom 3. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel from this OP. Is it hype? The singers' voices are so childish, it lacks any of the rawness I would think necessary to convey that. Or maybe it's just the delivery is so terribly restrained which only emphasizes the soft tones of their voices more. Or rather de-emphasizes it as they are totally drowned out by the heavy soundscape. And oof, that last note. Come on, at least give me some vibrato, Christ. Also CG Army bad. 3 out of 10. Kirato Pri-chan Season 3. I thought this bit was funny. I don't know, the abruptness to it is kind of amusing and feels pretty out of place. Gonna slap a 5 out of 10 on here and move on though, cause there's already several other OPs this season that basically do the same thing musically and visually, but better. Kitsutsuki Tante Dokuro. The soft colors of this are so nice, and these boys are so cute. I love when openings show the characters in a bunch of different outfits, it's a big soft spot of mine. The song itself is also a ton of fun. Pretty sure what I said about the inclusion of a brass riff making every song objectively better still holds true here. 7 out of 10, this looks like a pretty fun show. Kokai Kidotai, you know, it's Ghost in the Shell, SAC 2045. This is absolutely incredible. Getting big jazz fusion snarky puppy vibes. My feelings on the show's actual aesthetic are mixed, but this doesn't even feel like that at all. Visually, it's so seemingly basic and yet somehow so perfect and incredibly engaging. The gradually panning camera as we see the assembly of Motoko and the world generating around her is endlessly captivating. Fantastic editing, composition, lighting, it's a brilliant execution of a simple idea. The laid-back vibe draws me in as it moves forward with a sense of precision and casualness, the wobbly bass, and remember what I said about brass hits? Not to mention the performance itself is impeccable. Everyone is totally locked into this groove. Catchy lyrics, utterly infectious, varied tone and texture that blends in and out and makes full use of the frequency spectrum and stereo field, far and away beyond anything I could have possibly expected. 10 out of 10, this genuinely might be a new addition to my all-time favorites. BRB, gonna go listen to it like 5 more times just for fun. Listeners. Now, it's definitely hard for anything to follow up that last one, but this OP certainly is nothing to snuff at. Composed by Jin of Cage Pro fame, he's incredibly good at composing catchy rock songs, and this is no exception. I already want to check out the show purely on the basis of knowing he's responsible for its score as well. Again, not a fan of the credits on a boring black background, but at least we've got a bunch more personality in the actual visual cuts. I do feel like I get a holistic sense for the insanity of the show's setting, and I really want to spend more time in it. Hype, charming, and I want that cut of them dancing on loop forever. 8 out of 10. Major Second Season 2. Is this product placement in an OP? I mean, they renamed it Chucky Chocolate, which is hilarious, but the way it's utilized feels like product placement. Immediately took me out of it on my first watch. Overall, I like the guitar riff, but everything else I found a little too cheesy for lack of a better word. The different styles don't work well together, and the conclusion is musically not satisfying at all. 5 out of 10. Mashin Eiyuden Wataru. This is a prequel, sequel, spin-off, I don't know. It's part of the franchise from the 80s, and the opening is the exact same song as the original 80s show, and half of the OP is just a shot-for-shot remake. I like 80s music as much as the next guy, but I don't care for this one at all. And the visuals aren't doing anything for me either. 80s designs with that sharp digital coloring always strike me as seeming really off personally. 4 out of 10, my guess is this'll be meh. This is so saccharine, I think I might actually puke. Gonna need to rewatch Technolize after this to wash the cotton candy out of my mouth. Yeah, this is cute as hell. Having dancing in your theme songs is always an unfair advantage. The song itself is on the weaker side in my opinion, and I think the vocals are mixed too low, especially when the instrumental gets filled out more. They end up fighting each other for your attention. I'm presuming the characters, or at least the main, is singing in this OP, and I definitely do get a sense for their personality through that, which is a positive on that end. The visuals are an absolute delight though. Big fan of the expressive character animation, the variety of outfits, the watercolor backgrounds, all that is great. Strong 7 out of 10, show's probably a fun time. Nami o Kitekure. On my first viewing, I wasn't that into this OP, but with each replay it grew on me more and more. The aesthetic is a little off-putting, and I'm still not sure if I'm into the strange pattern coloration, but I could see myself coming around. Visually, the opening theme gives a lot of information in an engaging and diverse manner, introducing us to all of what I presume to be the main cast, as well as a bunch of different locations that I also assume will be where we spend most of our time. We get a bit of a sense for the main character's life, and there is a good mix of realism and abstraction in the style in order to depict the literal events of the narrative as well as the emotional beats it wants to hit on. There's a bit of humor, drama, it really does everything you could possibly ask for. The vocal performance is great, and the song has a delightful mix of melancholy and passion. The kind of song I can see myself revisiting in 5 years to feel those good old nostalgic tingles. Also, look at this dude groping that guy's ass. Epic. 9 out of 10, looking forward to checking this one out. Otome game no Hamatsu flag shika nai akuyaku bridge di tensei shitsu. Okay, just play the OP. Oh god, this is pain. Take me away before it gets stuck in my head. Please, next. Princess Connect Redive. The song for this is genuinely quite compelling. The character designs are fairly likable and the animation is good, but I cannot bear how much shine is on everything. It's like every character took a bath in glitter dust. It's absolutely blinding. And unlike No Game No Life or Hula-ing Babies, which have similar arguments made about them, it's not baked into the aesthetic. Most of it looks like a result of post-production. It doesn't gel, I hate it, it looks terrible. Are J.J. Abrams' lens flare jokes too dated now? Because that seems like the only appropriate analogy I can think of. Everything else is well done, but that one flaw is so dramatically distracting and pervasive in this OP that I struggle to enjoy it. 6 out of 10. Shacho Battle no Jikan desu. There's something about the music for this that actually kind of gives me a headache. It's so thumpy, tinny, and totally unrelenting. The kick drum is super prominent, the bass line is obnoxious, the synth patch is super high-pitched and squeaky, and this girl's voice is really annoying. I'm guessing it's going for cutesy, but it misses the mark hard. Also, I hate this girl's face. I want to punch her. 2 out of 10. Shadowverse. I've got a big soft spot for abrupt character changes in the middle of songs. Here going from forward-moving, get your blood pumping kind of rock tune into a jaunty midsection that sits comfortably on the backbeat, and the transition is impressively smooth. Character designs are a bit of a mixed bag, with some strong, some weak, and that la 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 theme gets more grating with every re-listen, but overall a pretty enjoyable 6 out of 10. Shin Sakura Taisen the animation. You know, I was really into it until the full frontal CG assault, but it hasn't quite lost me. The song is just so damn good. I don't know if this is actually the case or if the mixing and performance is just that well done, but it genuinely feels like everyone was recording together in the same space, at least for the instrumental. Everyone's locked in with each other super well, and the subtle adjustments in volume and articulation all come together to create a fantastic piece of music. I love the composition, and it's unfortunate the visuals aren't up to the level. They suffer from the common stiffness, and the designs are rather unmemorable. Obviously far from the worst CG I've seen, with some competent animation and cool uses of lighting, though I do think the bloom is overdone, as it makes everything look kind of fuzzy and indistinct. Strong 8 out of 10, though it could easily be much higher if the visual presentation was more impressive. Honestly, thanks to the OP, I do kinda wanna at least give the show a shot, though my guess is it won't live up to my hopes. Shironeko Project Zero Chronicle. Whew boy, this looks bad. Not only is the main character's outfit hilarious, the lighting effects are absolutely terrible. Can anyone comprehend what's going on in this cut? I can barely see half of it. I hate the designs, hate the post-production, the song is going way over the top with every hashtag epic gamer moment musical style it can, and as the singers belt out the lyrics like they're intensely constipated, I can't take it with even a modicum of seriousness. 2 out of 10. Shokugeki no Soma go no Sara. Immediately noticed this was nano-ripe thanks to the lead singer's extremely distinct voice. They've actually done some of my all-time favorite anime themes, including pretty much every song they did for Hanasaku Iroha. This one is pretty enjoyable, but I feel like the strings are overutilized in it. Sometimes less is more, and this is a case I think that holds true. I do like the little visual element of paper cutouts at the beginning, though it's kind of a shame it's only there for like 5 seconds, and then the rest is pretty standard fare. Basically just a bunch of panning character shots. 6 out of 10. Tamayomi. So, I do not like this OP, but can we set that aside and instead take a moment to appreciate what's really important here? Which is how far up the girls' asses their shorts are. It looks like they sewed it around each butt cheek. Everything is bad, I don't know, I'm tired. 3 out of 10, next please. Sugu Sugu Momo. A nice bit of traditional Japanese vibes, good amount of musical variety, and I like the POV shots in this a lot, they're quite well executed. I appreciate the little touch of having the POV shot in the beginning from the main guy's perspective, and then closing with a shot from the main girl's perspective. 7 out of 10. Watanuki-san Cheeto. It's another one of those virtual idol motion capture shows which I never watch because they look really ugly. Also, the song here is Garbo. Obnoxious, overly repetitive melody, and the instrumental is way too busy, it totally covers up the bad vocals, though maybe that's a positive. Listening to this makes me want to die. 2 out of 10. Oh great, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s! As we all know, everyone's favorite show. I know everyone was hyped as hell for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. Let's go, oh, okay. That's a surprise. I am totally here for all these funky opening themes. This is a groove. Great bassline that maintains the momentum, and a nice balance of styles, changing things up whenever it feels like it can't develop anymore. That said, I absolutely do not care about the visuals at all, with the exception of this cute guitar girl who's got a pretty strong design. Though I appreciate the effort to match pace with the music. 7 out of 10, glad we could go out on a high note, though I'm sure this OP is the best part of the show. So, that's the video. And here are my top 5 openings of the season. What do you think? Disagree? Agree? Something in between? Make sure to let me know with your algorithmically beneficial comment. Also would appreciate it if you left a like. This is a hefty video and it took a lot of time to write, having to rewatch BOPs over and over again, as I was trying not to repeat myself too much and also give some meaningful critiques here and there, not just simply saying I liked it. If this video performs well and you would like to see more of them, then I'd be more than happy to do another video like this in the future, so let me know. Be sure to click the link in the description or the pinned comment to join my Discord. We talk about anime and all sorts of other things, and also do regular group watches of obscure anime movies, so if that interests you, come on down. Lastly, this video is brought to you by my lovely patrons, whose names are on screen now. $5 gets you access to my monthly patron exclusive podcast and also helps me pay my rent. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.